So finally, chapter 147 is here. We've all been waiting so long to see Ruby and Hikaru interact, and it finally happens in this chapter. They actually talk. A nice father and daughter chat. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started with this chapter. It starts off a bit after the end of the last chapter, with father and daughter walking together under an umbrella in the rain. Ruby actually accepted Hikaru's offer, and it doesn't seem like she knows who he is. I mean, that's kinda surprising, but also not really, since Ruby also isn't always the brightest. Since they were at a shrine though, Hikaru asked Ruby what exactly she was wishing for, since she seemed to be praying for quite a while. Ruby says she wanted an answer, and that there's always been someone she's hated. That's crazy because I'm pretty sure that one of the people she hates is literally standing right next to her. It almost made me think Ruby does know that's Hikaru, but unfortunately she doesn't, and continues by saying she knows that in this world, no one is purely evil by nature. It's the environment and circumstances that can change and corrupt people. Hikaru is an example of this. The things he went through because of Ayuri most certainly helped shape Hikaru into the murderer he is now. Ruby says perhaps she could have gone down a dark path too, if her circumstances had been different. And if someone had asked what went wrong, it could be as simple as just bad luck. No one is to blame. By thinking that way, Ruby believed she too could be saved. However, we then see her double black starring gun activate, as Ruby reiterates that even with all that being said, there is still someone she can never forgive. Even after a decade, the feeling of being unable to forgive that person is still there. Ruby feels like she can finally move forward by pouring out her hatred. She's kinda sounding like Sasuke right now, but it seems like she's not gonna let the hatred consume her. Instead, Ruby knows that now she has to choose whether to forgive or not to forgive. But since Ruby doesn't know which is right, she wanted God to tell her what to do. Ruby then apologizes to Hikaru for a yap session, realizing she hasn't completely gathered her thoughts yet. With his own black star gun active, Hikaru tells Ruby it's alright. She can worry about it to her heart's content. However, he tells Ruby that God does not give us answers. Only Ruby herself can answer her own questions. If she comes up with an answer after worrying so much, she should accept it. Everyone does that according to Hikaru. Hearing that, Ruby's eyes revert back to the white starring gun, and Hikaru states that's something Ruby shouldn't want to ask God in the first place. Instead, maybe what God really wants to know are her true desires. Like, what does Ruby really wish for? What does she want to accomplish? And what does she want to become? Hikaru wants to know those answers too. In fact, I think that's why he even mentioned those questions in the first place, because he wants to hear Ruby's answers for himself. Ruby does hesitate to answer at first, seeming to think about it before saying she wants to fulfill the dream that her mother couldn't achieve. Hikaru comments on that, believing that to mean Ruby wants to be like her mom. Perhaps get closer to Ai, even if it's just a little bit. Not gonna lie, when I first read that, my first thought was Hikaru could kill Ruby if she really wanted to be closer to her mom. That's pretty dark, I know, but it's something I think Hikaru would do, especially after what we see him do in a bit. But first, Ruby continues by stretching out her hands, proclaiming that she will become an idol that will surpass Ai, an idol who is idolized by her fans more and more, to the point they can forget about the past. She believes that's the only way they can all be saved. We then get a brilliant shot of Ruby as the rain clears and the sun shines down on them. It's pretty cool symbolism, and listen to Hikaru here. Bro is pleased by what he just heard, like it's exactly what he wanted to hear. Hikaru tells Ruby that's wonderful, and right now, there's probably nothing in existence that's shining brighter than her. Ruby's life is precious, perhaps more than Ai. A life worth killing. And now Hikaru's eyes glow white, revealing that this is what he truly loves to do, killing those who shine the most. He did it to Ai, Yura, and who knows how many others. Hikaru reaches out, and just before he can push Ruby down the stairs to the shrine, someone screams for Ruby. It's Akane, who shows up just in time, or perhaps she has always been there watching. She asks Ruby if she's here at the shrine to pray, which is a good save to not make her appearance seem suspicious, or expose herself. Ruby is surprised to see Akane there too, and explains that she used Hikaru's umbrella since it was raining. Hearing that, Akane tells Hikaru thanks, and that she'll take Ruby from here. Hikaru's just like sure, and Akane takes Ruby away for some tea, but not before giving Hikaru a cold stare. And guess what? Nino is now standing beside Hikaru too. Insane. As we expected, she's been aligned with Hikaru this whole time. She definitely showed up at the movie set to scout for him too. And also, it seems Nino knows Akane has indeed been following Hikaru, which explains her limited presence in this arc, like when she followed Aqua to Ai's mom's place. Plus, we know Akane knows exactly what Hikaru looks like, so maybe she'll tell Ruby during tea time. Hikaru seems to know about her too though, At least, he isn't surprised by Akane following him. Akane saved Ruby, but who will protect her from Hikaru? Worst case scenario, Hikaru will try to get rid of Akane first, so hopefully she tells Aqua that they ran into Hikaru. She's just gonna have to be very careful if she's by herself now, cause I can see Hikaru getting Akane if she's alone. I really don't want Akane to die, but back to the chapter. Hikaru knows that since the movie is revealing everything about Airi and Seijuro, that's bound to get people talking. Yet they're still calling him Boy A, which Hikaru isn't pleased about. Seems like Kaburagi isn't completely working with Hikaru at least. But once the movie is out, Hikaru knows there's no doubt people will start hunting for the culprit. In the tabloids and social media, people will be asking, who is the real Boy A? Plus, it seems like Hikaru believes that it's actually Kaburagi who's trying to kill him. Not with the movie, but by the public's malice. Although, there is a chance he knows Aqua's been plotting revenge this whole time too, which finally seems to be working out now. Little does he know, it's his own son who cooked this up. Like Aqua told Ichigo, he wants to make Hikaru suffer first, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Nino seems a bit worried about Hikaru, and even says that he always knew a day like this would come. He's even alright with running away like this too, along with the many lives he's carried on his back. But like, what does he even mean by that last part? The lives he's taken, or potentially his past lives? But Hikaru continues with one last warning. Before Hikaru rots away, it seems like he has one last thing he wants to do. We don't get to see him say what that is, as we literally cut to scenes from the film. We see Pregnant Eye, Goro's death, Biko Machi, Hikaru with the signature of white flowers, then Hikaru and Ai having a confrontation. That's probably the moment everything fell apart between them, which is followed by Ai being attacked by Ryosuke, which results in the last page, showing us Ai's death, and the staff saying Ruby's done filming. What a brutal way to end the chapter, and I wonder how Ruby felt having to actually play that scene. It's actually a bit surprising Akka didn't give us a chapter for that scene, considering how important that moment was for the story and the twins. But either way, it seems like filming is just about finished, and this movie arc is coming to an end real soon. There is a break again next week too, due to Golden Week, so we'll have to wait again. This chapter is a really great chapter to end the movie arc though, if this is really the end of it. We got the Hikaru and Ruby interaction, Akane showing up, and Nina revealing her allegiance. Seems like all the pieces are in place now for the next climactic arc. All we need now is Aqua learning about this, and revealing that his plan is coming together perfectly. Plus, with Hikaru's last words from this chapter, it seems like he's planning something too. What do y'all think though? Does Akane know that's Hikaru? And is she in danger now? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I got some more Oshi content here too if you want to check it out. Peace.